Let's talk about the tragic downfall of J Molley. I grew up listening to J Molley. He's one of those artists that beginning of my years of listening to hip hop music, especially SA hip hop music, I resonated with the sound, especially Soundcloud era of 2015, 16, 17. I mean, the likes of Molley, Big Hash, Shouldbeyuang Patrickxxlee, I could go on. And J Molley, the one we're focusing on today, was an artist who was the leader of the new wave. He was literally number one. He was above Big Hash, who is more prominent now. And there's a lot of factors to consider about this. The fact that SoundCloud was bubbling with a lot of rappers who were going for a similar sound that the Big Hash and J Molley had, but the ones that managed to achieve it and managed to resonate with the youth were those big two, especially J Molley, man. I remember he rose into prominence and he became a commercial artist when he dropped I don't know, smoking and it's fishing and it's shit that I don't know.
Ooh, I've been chilling, drinking with some people I don't know. Couple bad women at my house that I don't know.
That was 2017, around there, going to 2018. You worked with Ricky Rig, and then 2019 happened. Then the thing that changed was Amapiano. Amapiano changed the landscape of music as a whole, including hip-hop as well. Amapiano came in 2019 and things changed, man. Things were ruffled, music house fell, and hip-hop was changing. It was changing, it was moving from the sound of SoundCloud to a new sound that's closer to what we had before the Amapiano, which was more Kwaito-like with more raps. So that's why you saw the rise of rappers like Tato So, like 35K, rappers who have a knack in their words, and you saw the downfall or the less push from the media for artists like Patrickxxlee, and it lost its craft. Being a SoundCloud rapper and coming from that era, it lost, because it's not only J Molley who lost his prominence after the change and rise of Amapiano. It was a lot of things that happened. I mean, it's also the fact that hip-hop was pushing a different type of sound than what it did a year or two before, and people who you would see on Trace or you'd see on Channel O, it was more of a knack. It was more like a style that's foreign to J Molley and the Big Hash and the Patrickxxlees of the world. It's either you had to adapt or you die. Some did adapt, some did actually still rise to prominence and maintain that rise with the talents like the Big Hash. The Big Hash has never really changed his sound from the original sound that he came up with, but he has always refined it. But the sound, it was never really changed or really different from what he was doing back then when he rose to prominence with is arguably the best debut album in South Africa. I mean, his mixtapes before that were so far as well. Now I'm moving to a different topic just because of the Big Hash. I mean, J Molley, bruh. 2020 happened and the Amapiano apocalypse happened. It's changed the game, it changed the hip-hop scene as well. More music that was being pushed was more vernacular, and sadly J Molley's music didn't fall under that category. And even personally, his personal self, there were things that were happening, there were beefs that were happening, and there was him taking breaks and him going to shows like the one with the rappers, MTV rappers, love and hip hop, and him selling lean to overseas people, and him just having to fight bouncers. He was losing his credibility through the loss of his reputation. A lot of scandals happen about J Molley, about him scamming people, about him selling lean to overseas people, since lean overseas, they can't afford what we afford for lean. For example, still plane won't be as cheap as it is here in South Africa because of the laws restricting lean and shit there. So he was selling there, and this is like a thing of last year to this year. And J Molley since 2017 until now is different. It's like a whole entire human being. Oh, my lights just died. Give me a second. I'm breaking the third wall now. Anyways, it's like it's like two different people from two different eras. It's like it wasn't the J Molley who everyone who was a kid looked up to.